Alright guys, going to do a shooting review on this Rossi Gallery pump here, 22 long rifle. This is on loan today by John at Boomstick Revenge, and we're shooting on his range. Really appreciate that. Go check him out. So she's marked 22 long rifle on the side there. So I'm not sure if it would reliably feed longs or shorts, and I don't have any to try today, but marked for long rifle, so you should be using long rifle in this. It's got a semi buckhorn rear. It's got a ramp so you can adjust it for elevation there, and you got a brass bead front sight there, the little plastic barrel band. So the other thing I noticed, obviously, you know, these are pretty cheap, so the receiver on it is painted. It's hard to see in probably through the camera there, but I'm seeing that orange peel pattern, so it's definitely painted. So you got to be careful with the receiver, not to rub it on too much stuff, or that paint's going to rub off on you there. You do have a safety there. Got a dovetail here if you want to put a scope on it. I gotta say, first impressions, like, I'm really liking the balance of it. The pump's a little stiff, so just kind of, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of effort, but you just gotta manhandle a little bit and be firm and direct with it, so it's not super loose. I'm sure it would wear in some over time, but it does take a little bit of effort there. Tube feed obviously holds 15 in the magazine there. And I've been sticking my finger here trying the trigger. Trigger's not too bad either. So it's got a lot of take up. And it's got a little creep, but it's almost like a stage if you do it right. It'll go like a hair, and then it stops at a wall, and then after that it breaks. So right there's that creep, and then there's the break. Creep. Oh, it's hard for me to get. Creep, break, creep. I went too far again. Creep, break. So you can, it's almost like a, I'm sure it's not intentional, but it's almost like a, you can stage it kind of, so as you pull through slowly, if you get that little bit of creep, then it's going to go right after that. If you don't, then it's just going to go. So not a bad trigger either, and it's probably in the 5-pound range, so decent trigger on it, at least for what I like. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about it here. I want to get to shooting this. So I got a target down here at 25 yards. Take some shots at the start, see where point of impact is, and got some fun little steel targets out here to take a crack at. And I got a gong out there at 100 yards too, and there's even a target out there. If John will let me shoot at, I might be able to try a little makeshift group, although I'm not the best on iron sights. And before I forget, I got two different 22 LR to try out here today. Our friend Bill sent out this Fiocchi to me, so appreciate that. I'm gonna put some of those through it, see how it likes those. Just standard velocity, I believe. Yep. Okay, subsonic, 1060 advertised, and then these arms core advertised about 1300, I think. So these are hollow point, high velocity. And sorry, my fingers are all nasty, but it rained out here, so this picnic table's coming off on my fingers there. Try these subsonics first. I just realized, I mean, it said right on the box if I was paying attention. I just realized they're hollow points there. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it'd be on video, but I'll probably, might be a bonus. I might have to try some of these in a ballistics gelatin block as a little bonus at the end of some upcoming video to see how they do in the ballistics gelatin. Pretty smooth on the tube there. No catches or binds. Let's take a few zoomed out, and then I'll get you guys zoomed in. Hit the camera with the shell. All right. I'm not trying to be super accurate yet. I'm just trying to see where those are hitting. So I was aiming 6 o'clock on that, and I see there a low and a little left there. All right, so the sight was all the way down. I brought it up 2 more notches, so it's on the 3rd notch now. Just aiming 6 o'clock at that bullseye, putting the very top of the brass bead at the very bottom of the red bullseye there. And these are subsonics, so the high velocity should shoot a little higher here at 25 yards, certainly further out, but I'll send it a couple more down, see if we're closer to bullseye now that I put it up on the ramp 2 more notches. All right, that's not a bad group. 25 yards there on irons, that big fat front brass bead. But so again, I just told you guys where I was aiming there. So 3's a little high at 25 and clear down at the bottom's too low. So second setting's probably about right for 25 there. If we were out at 50, it'd probably be about dead on, other than the fact it's off to the left there for me. Now these sights are adjustable. You can drift the front and rear with a punch. So all right, John, let me give the sights a whack there so I can try to line it up. But I'm going to test my theory on that second notch. So I brought it down 1 notch. Again, we're shooting 25 yards there. Interestingly, I went to tap the front one to the left because that's the direction I need it to go if it's going to bring the shot placement to the right as I need it to. And it just shot it out. And I could stick it back in and forth with my fingers. So it seems like it goes loose to the left and it goes tight to the right. So I don't think, based off of that, you're supposed to adjust it with the front. You're supposed to do the rear, which is what I just did. And yeah, the rear's pretty tight, but I did get it to move a little bit. So let's see how much closer I am to bullseye here. All right, well, it's a lot closer. So the height is about perfect because I'm still holding 6 o'clock on that red oval there with the very top of the brass bead. So it's just a tad too far right there, but it's way better than it was. I might see if I can give it just a nudge back to the left. I'll finish out these shots here on that half scale silhouette off to the right side of your screen there. All right, I got these arms core in here now. I'll see if see how they shoot out there. 25 yards. Point of impact might shift a little bit with them being higher velocity. Top red dot. Well, about the same spot, but of course further out these will shoot higher than the subsonics. Shoot these guys here, the little spinners at 25 to the right of the target stand. I'm shooting the bottom of those. We'll go for the top this time. I think that's a center fire one, so it won't move much at 50 yards there, but I'll send 1 or 2 down to it before we try the smaller ones out there. All right, these ones out here, they're pretty much the same deal, but they're at 50 yards. I'll take a whack at these. Of course, I'm not entirely sure what point of impact is yet because we've only shot 25 yards, but I think I'll figure it out. It's pretty much just cover them. I'm going to go for the one next to it, third one from the right. I hear metal, but Go for the one up high, center. Just FYI, that's way harder than it looks. The brass bead on the front of it, well, not only am I having to cover it to hit it, so once I cover it, I cannot see it, but the bead is actually larger in appearance than those targets are at 50 yards there, so. I'm gonna walk out there. I'm gonna shoot this half scale silhouette at 75 there, and then off to the left I got a 16-inch gong out there at 100 yards. I probably voiced it over in the video there so you guys knew what was going on, but I was missing at 100 only because it was shooting too low, and then you should have seen me pop the sight up one more notch there, and then she was good to go at 100, so that's on the third notch there, and I was using the arms core high velocity, so still got several more notches there to go, so you could probably make 200-yard shots with this thing if you had it set all the way up there. So my final thoughts on it, I actually really like it. I'm not sure what any of the other guys are saying. I haven't watched any reviews on this. I wanted to shoot it ever since I seen it come out. I was interested in it, and I was like, I bet that'd be a fun little rifle, you know, as long as it works good. And I didn't have any issues out of it. Not one single jam. Rub subsonic hollow points and the high velocity hollow points there. Sight system all worked for us. I was able to adjust that sight there to get her zeroed for me. And like I said, the pump takes a little bit of effort, but I mean, that's no problem. Just slam her home and back up. Like I said, I'm not like Hulk flexing it or anything like that, but I got to be, you know, intentional with my movements there. Like I said, trigger's not too bad either. You got that little stage there, but there's no real creep to speak of, anything like that, and breaks in about the 5-pound range. It's not like gritty or anything like that. So also, I really love the balance. Not only is it pretty light, but it's got a real good feel and balance to it too. So yeah, I really like this little guy. I'm going to add one of these to my collection one day. If you guys want to get yourself any of the products you see me use in my video, like my shooting bag there, earmuffs, safety glasses, target stand I use, paper targets, steel targets, and more, links in the description for all of that. Thanks again to John at Boomstick for loaning it for the review and the range chime, and Bill for the ammo. Thanks to you guys for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one.